Welcome to a brand new episode of the Marketing Business Wealth podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Witnish. In today's conversation, we're going to dive into some marketing strategies that you can deploy in the back end of December. They're still relevant throughout the year, but can really set you up to have momentum in January, start of a brand new year, when people are looking for solutions to solve their problems. They're open to buying, to changing things because they want a fresh start. So let's capitalize. Many of your competitors will likely shut down. They'll take a break. They'll take their foot off the pedal and do the obligatory post. Hey, we're shutting down for these 3 weeks. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. But if you do the opposite and you have a few things lined up, things that you can prepare even if you are taking a break, that just put you in a place where you're front and center with your target clients when they might be making those buying decisions or looking for solutions in early January. So we'll start there. And I did mention this in a previous episode, but it's having visibility while others scale back. So if you create a series of posts right now and you schedule them, if you're taking a break, or even if you're not taking a break, it's smart to schedule them to go out through that holiday period. Lots of people are on their phones because they are having a break, and when they're bored, they jump on social media. And you can be front and center and put your solutions, your products, your services, the problems you solve front of mind while they're sitting there, and have that brand awareness. So when they are ready and they're looking to get started in 2023, you're immediately who they think of and not the competition. So I would say make sure you have some consistency in posting through that period, especially if you've built up goodwill through the year. Because if you're front of mind, guess who they're going to call or reach out to you first if they want to change direction in the new year. Now, the types of posts I recommend creating are talking about the problems your company will be solving in 2023. So things that are going to really appeal for them, things that they've likely been a challenge for them in 2022. And you can also talk about the solutions as well, in terms of what you'll actually be providing and doing, in terms of the offers and what they look like. So if you're addressing those problems, talking about them when they're in reflection of the year gone by and they want to change things moving forward, that's the best way to have visibility, but also get their attention and go, you know what, I need to talk to this company in January. They look like they can help us. So that's the first thing I'd recommend. The next one is something that we're doing in our agency right now. We've already started this process, and it's running a very low budget retargeting campaign to our hottest prospects. So most platforms on social media have capabilities to set up ad campaigns, but what you can do is you can upload a CSV file of your database in most cases. And so these are all people that you've been emailing and going back and forth with throughout the year through that medium. But you can also target people that have interacted and consumed your content over the last 90, 180 days. So you're already on their radar. They already know you. There's also a level of trust, and they're most likely to be your hottest or warmest prospects that are going to convert and move forward with a solution. So I'm going to put a link to a video that I created on YouTube in the show notes that actually walks you through how to set one of them up. It only takes a few minutes. It's very simple. But by spending $5, $10 a day through that period and going to your warmest prospects when they're looking for those new solutions heading into 2023, you can build up a phenomenal pipeline and get some people that are ready to move forward heading into a new year, bring in some new revenue, start with some new clients while everyone else is resetting and taking those first few weeks to build momentum. And we set ours live, it was, I believe, 2 days ago. And in the first day, we already had 2 inbound messages for the offer that we put out, which is a risk-free offer around content. And I'll walk you through what we talked about. So in that offer that we're going out to our warm network, we talked about the problems they likely experience in 2022. So this will give you a bit of framework. Then we talked about what they need to do in 2023, the solution to that problem. So in relation to content, often it's actually getting it done. Where do you post? How often? At what frequency? Which platforms? In what format? Having the time as a business owner, content's probably a very low priority task when you've got all these spot fires, team and clients to manage, so it just doesn't get done. The next thing is how it positions your business and your brand and separates you from the competition. So it starts to remove things like price sensitivity when you've shown how you're different and your capabilities stand out compared to someone else's solutions, and how it builds a digital asset. So if you want to go sell your company in the future, you've got all this reach, all these followers, people want to buy that aspect and that piece of your company. So it does a lot of goodwill. And then having a relatively risk-free offer in there. So for us, we said we'll help our people that respond to this ad create their content plan for 2023. They can either execute it internally, or if they want to outsource it to us, that's where we would come on board and actually get paid as an agency. So that's an example when you would just rewrite that and appeal that to your target clients. What were their biggest problems in 2022? Talk to those. What they need to do in 2023 to solve that. What's a low risk action step that they can take to sample or have a conversation with you about moving forward with that, or test drive, whatever it is, and get some really solid prospects that are having turned into leads because they're having that conversation with you heading into 2023, where they're going to be motivated to pull the trigger. So that's a retargeting campaign. You can set these up on most platforms. Like I said, I'll put a link. If you want me to talk you through it, I'll quickly run you through it. So if you go into, let's say, a platform like Meta, which is your Facebook and Instagram business manager, there's an audiences section in your ads manager, and you can simply go to custom audiences, and then you just upload a CSV file of all your contacts in your database. And then you go create another custom audience, and it's based on engagement. So you can choose anyone that's watched a percentage of your videos and actually select the videos that have interacted with your posts, and you can actually choose what that interaction looks like. So for example, if we've done posts specifically about content marketing, we can select that for the retargeting, because we know the people that were watching or tuning into that particular piece of content has an interest in content marketing. So we add the database and that engagement together for our audience. So it's a very small audience. We set a small budget, $10 a day, and we just circulate that relatively risk-free offer out to them from now all the way into the start of Jan. And as I said, we've already got a series of people that have responded to that offer and taken that up. So we've got a solid pipeline building up from our warm network. The next thing to do is to go to your best clients of the year and ask for some referrals. And I know it's such a simple strategy, but we often don't do it. And I know that we hadn't done it for a long time. And it was just this week that our best clients, the ones that we've got phenomenal results for this year, we went to each of them and say, hey, if there's anyone that's seen what you're doing, or you know that we can help them in 2023, we'd love it if you can make an introduction and we could say hi. And so we did that. And again, we created some new client opportunities through that process. We've got a couple of introductions already. So from the retargeting campaign and from just asking for referrals, we've probably got 6 or 7 opportunities just this week alone heading into 2023. So we've got the revenue momentum happening. Now, the next thing, and I've got a little list here to do, is look at some JV opportunities. So what you want to do is start setting up some meetings for early Jan with other complementary businesses in your marketplace. So think about who that have the exact same target clients that you have, aren't in direct competition, that you could say, hey, we're looking to partner and align ourselves with someone that we can refer our clients to that might be open to referring their clients to us in 2023. Are you open to having a meeting when you return in January 2023? And you can lay 5 or 6 of those meetings up so you can set up these joint venture client streams that could get you some instant business at the start of 2023. If you can set up a successful referral arrangement, whether you give them a commission or a part of that, or whether it's just a 2-way referral street where you just both endorse and recommend each other's services or solutions to the clients that you work with, and set that up, that could open the floodgates for a series of brand new clients to inject into your business at the start of 2023. So these are all very simple, low-hanging fruit, very low investment things that you can do right now. The next thing that we did was we wanted to put in your agenda some of the possibilities for 2023. So we've talked about being visible, we've talked about retargeting, we've talked about joint ventures. So I'm very bullish on YouTube at the moment. And this podcast, of course, goes out on YouTube as well as all the other listening platforms. And the reason why I'm bullish on YouTube is because if you look at why people go to that platform, it's often to learn or to get educated on a specific idea. Now, if your content from your business is around solving those problems, they're going to see you as a trusted advisor and a source of value prior to even considering transacting with your business. So they convert at a much higher level, and they've got a lot lower price sensitivity. And the beautiful thing is, if you set up YouTube videos correctly, so you're optimizing your titles, your descriptions, and your tags for what people are searching for on the platform, you get a lot of organic views and reach. We refreshed our channel at the start of this year basically deleted everything that was there just so we could keep it themed and not all over the place. And I think we've already generated over 27,000 views this year through the channel, educating people about content marketing, different ideas, and through the podcast, which for a few months in, that's really powerful. And we know that by this time next year, we'll be into the hundreds of thousands of views. And if you've added value and people go, you can solve my problems, then of course business opportunities are going to come out from that. The other opportunity with YouTube is you can get very cheap video circulation. So I'll give you an example. In our agency, we're running a campaign at $3 a day at the moment, and we're getting 1 cent views. So that's equating to 300 views a day. And we have a very short video. It's roughly a minute long. And what it does is it walks through our process. So it goes out to an audience that we set up inside the advertising manager that's called an in-market audience. And you can just look this up or go to YouTube to see how to do this. But these are people that are actively looking for specific solutions. So they're essentially in buy mode and researching. And we did it for the advertising and marketing sector, given that that's the place our companies play in. And so we're spending $3 a day. It just runs continuously. We walk through our process about how we do it. And it goes out to these business owners that are actively seeking advertising and marketing solutions. And we're just doing it in our local city. So all the business owners we're targeting are in Melbourne. So if any of them are interested, there is a button they can click which sends them to our site where they can book in a meeting with us. And that just ticks over. And like I said, 300 views a day. And if anyone books a meeting, they're in our local city, we'll be able to catch up with them. And that's another really great way to have targeted visibility at a very low budget heading into the new year. So that's another strategy I wanted to put on your radar, because I don't think many businesses are capitalizing on strategies like YouTube ads at the moment. Another thing that I wanted to mention is setting up a group. This is not something that you have to do if you've got all these other moving parts going, but setting up a group heading into a new year for your target market or your niche is very powerful. So it could be on Facebook, it could be on LinkedIn, depending on where your target clients are, and just call it exactly what it is, whatever the solution is that you offer or the problem is that you solve. So we created a group, Content Marketing Strategies, and we just set that up. And the idea is we want to just distribute value and build up the community inside that group and be a source of value, position ourselves as experts. We can build this up organically. Then naturally people in that group are going to invite more people to come and join in. If they know someone that's looking for the type of solutions that we offer, they'll refer them on. They may even be looking for the solution themselves. But again, when people are fishing for new ideas, looking to solve problems heading into a new year, they're likely to want to shop around for these types of groups, for these types of education, for these types of videos on YouTube. And if you're front and center and you have these things set up, you can have all these fresh eyeballs that you can add value to and put a lot of goodwill in place heading into a new year to build a much stronger pipeline. So there's a few ideas to really hit the ground running and get a massive edge over your competition in 2023 and heading into the new year. I'll just quickly gloss over my notes here just to make sure I haven't missed anything. So I've touched on everything on my list, so I didn't want to overwhelm you with too many ideas. You might only pick a couple of them, but the main one is maintain that visibility just with those posts so you are front and center. That retargeting campaign is very powerful to bring any low-hanging fruit, any hot prospects to the surface that may be looking to move forward into the new year, and just starting with some revenue coming in rather than hitting the floor at 2-3 weeks deep into January and then being slow to build momentum like everyone else, and then you kind of lose that month. So start in abundance, start with your best month ever, and have that ability to finish the year strong and enjoy Christmas knowing that you've put your business in the best possible place to capitalize at the start of the year. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're following and subscribe if this is your first time or you're not doing that already. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments or anywhere you can see an opportunity to do that. If you want to get in contact with me privately, there'll be resources to do that in the show notes. I really appreciate you tuning in. We'll try and get another episode in before the end of the year, so stay tuned for that one. Thanks again for watching, and we'll be back with a brand new episode of the Marketing Business Wealth podcast very soon.